Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel Tmao GMA. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe button. Now, let's start the video. Video script, Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes update. The breakup last year, after 14 years together, came as a surprise to many. But Ruth Langsford has evidently put the sadness of her separation from Eamonn Holmes behind her and is embracing life to the fullest. Friends of the 64-year-old loose women panelist say she still cares for Eamonn, despite moving on. This concern hasn't waned, especially now that the broadcaster is facing health challenges. Per OK Magazine, reports have surfaced indicating that Eamonn is encountering escalating health issues while working at GB News, where he co-presents the breakfast slot with Ellie Costello. An insider revealed to a paper that, due to persistent back troubles and mobility constraints, he had to be wheeled in and out of the studio. There was also concern recently when Eamonn unexpectedly missed his routine presenting gig on the channel, reports The Mirror. Now, an insider claims Ruth honestly doesn't talk about Eamonn, she's really moved on from that part of her life. But, of course, she does care about him because they share a child and were married for a long time. The source continued to say that although it's sad to see her former spouse struggling, the presenter is resilient and concentrating on her own life. They added, she has seen that he is struggling, and it's sad to see anyone in that situation. Of course, she fears for him and doesn't want to think of Eamonn battling with his health, but she has to focus on herself and her own life now. Eamonn has been struggling with mobility since undergoing surgery in 2022 for a slip disc and having a double hip replacement back in 2016. He's now increasingly dependent on a walking stick and, sometimes, a wheelchair. He shared the disheartening news at the beginning of the year that he may never walk again. The past year's challenges would be difficult for anyone to face, especially for someone who has been a steadfast support to the Belfast-born presenter, caring for him personally. Ruth has spoken candidly about the demands of being a carer during Eamonn's health issues. In an earlier interview, she confessed, "It isn't always easy, but if something happens to somebody you love, you help them as much as you can." She acknowledged that being a carer can be testing, yet she and Eamonn approached each day as it came. Former This Morning hosts Ruth and Eamonn, who tied the knot in 2010 after over 10 years together, were adored for their natural rapport on screen. Off-screen, they seemed just as solid, raising their son Jack, now 23, and standing by each other through all of life's ups and downs. Ruth is commendably concentrating on her personal journey, continuing her role on Loose Women and progressing with pride. Last month, an insider reportedly revealed she is still wearing her wedding ring while coming to terms with the end of such a long relationship, amidst ongoing discussions over their divorce settlement. On the other hand, Eamonn, age 64, has discovered romance anew with Katie Alexander, a relationship counselor and divorced mother of 3. He was spotted last week accompanying Katie as they cheered on her eldest son at an amateur cup final in Wakefield. As for Ruth, she's no doubt prioritizing her serenity during this new phase in her life. Yet, with Eamonn confronting serious health issues and embarking on a new relationship, it's conceivable that she'd experience a whirlwind of complex emotions. Lovehoney's relationship expert Annabelle Knight says it's perfectly natural for Ruth to retain feelings of concern for Eamonn. The truth is, you can't stop loving someone, or even simply caring about them, overnight. And you can't delete the memories from your mind as easily as you can from your phone, she remarks. Especially when you've shared years of your life with someone, in sickness and in health, you become completely connected through the bad times and the good. It's perfectly normal and very valid to feel a range of emotions like sadness, yearning, euphoria, excitement, and despair. If you're an empathetic person, you'll likely not only feel that for yourself but also for the one you've loved in the past. She continues, "It is absolutely possible to become trauma bonded to a partner who you have cared for throughout their illness.